Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, August 5th. And we are looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and the SPY. Well, interesting day to say the least. So, we had a 49 wide POC basically from the overnight, the last two overnights, and yesterday's perfect POC. We gap lower today, fairly sizable gap, right? The gap at one point was over $2.50, only to fill it and get right back to that beautiful place where they like to do business in 1 hour and then never see it again as they back off. I'm proud to say I took a short at today's high, but too bad I didn't hold it down to D's low. We do not take out the initial balance in SPY. So I think the last time we did that was the end of June. Somebody told me in the room. So that's very rare. We take out the initial balance. I think it's over 95% of the times. So it's maybe only 5 trading days during the year that we don't do it. Well, we've done it twice now in the last 5 or 6 weeks. So what is that telling us? Ranges are contracting. Volume is certainly contracting. We said last night's video, you're probably going to get most of your action in the first hour or 2 hours today. That's exactly what happened, right? We never took out the IB. The whole range is in A and B. What happened this morning, they knee-jerk reaction to the unemployment, to the jobs number. So whoever was long in this huge area here puked it up. Shorts jumped in. We opened and went straight up. What did I tell you? I always say this. People scream, gap rules apply. Well, basically what they're telling you is you got to go at the gap and short it. If you shorted this right away, you got ripped apart. Now, I made money on shorts in A and B, okay? But I made money on all 3 of them. They were quick. They were at visual levels. If you short gap rules apply and you shorted it, you got destroyed, especially if you kept adding to it. We closed basically right above last month's high. We battled last month's high all 5 days this week. Why is that important? Well, it was an inside month. So have we succeeded or failed? Of course not. Right now, it's basically nothing's happened. We haven't really gotten any distance away from it. Russell, on the other hand, look at Russell. Russell not only gapped lower, but they end up taking out yesterday's high. So they end with an outside day up. So they're clearly inside month up. Right now, last month's high was 187 and change. What was their high? I know I wrote it down somewhere. 187.73. So they're about $3 higher than last month's high. So they're in better shape than the S&P right now. $3 out of an inside month to the upside, and they have an outside day up to lean on going into Monday. Triple Qs took out their IB low, but they did nothing. They're in a 3-day balance. Now, even though, and we're going to recap all these charts, Russell has an outside day up and an inside month up, they're still in a balance on the daily, which we'll get to. So as far as my trades go, I waited. The reason I didn't take a long in A, now I told the room there's a good chance for an inventory adjustment, but you don't know how much they're going to stretch it. So when you're opening with a gap of decent size, lower value, agitated algos, I'm still looking for shorts. And I scalped 2 shorts in A period. One when the gap got to basically $1 and it pulled back a bit. And again, right before the 15-minute, that was at the 15-minute turnover. With the indices down, the algos pushed down. And then the second one was as we got closer to the gap fill, and that pulled back a bit. and that was basically right before the turnover. So I took it. It was right before the gap fill. B pushed down. Again, I didn't stay married to it and made money. And then in B, again, I took 2 shorts. I took one first against value low that backed off, and the second one at the high of the day. Actually, I missed the high of the day. I shorted, what did I sell? 52.50 I sold. The high of the day, I think, is 53.50. Anyway, right at the high of the day, because I figured they were going to, this was going to be tough to get through again, and they never even got through it. So that's what I did there. Then in D period, when it started pushing down, I'm like, these singles aren't going to last. Took a short to fill the singles. Did well on that. And then after that, I took a quick long at D at half back, which I didn't stay in it long. Good thing I didn't. It pushed up. I took out a few points because I didn't think they'd eat away this buy tail so quickly. So I took it off, and then obviously they rotated back down. And then the only other trade I took, because it was getting pretty tough to figure this out, I thought we might have an afternoon rally high in F, but I didn't take the short. I took the short in G, thinking we'd stay below yesterday's low. It wasn't a big one. I had a 2-lot on. It actually came in. I took one off, made some money. Could have taken them both off for small. I'm like, let's see now if they do come back down. I thought there's a good possibility of not getting back inside yesterday's range. Well, when H took out G's high, he started going. I took the other one off. So I basically net lost small on the trade. And that was it. The market just, I didn't know what they wanted to do. I didn't think they would get the day's high. I still thought they had better odds of getting the day's low. I was thinking about taking a short when J took out I's low, but I didn't because at the time they raised POC from half back to C's low. Then they bring POC back down to half back, only to raise it again in the last time frame. So there was a lot of indecision. So I just watched it. Just watched it. Had a good week. First week with the first week trading the futures. Traded small, but I did well all 5 days. So I'm not going to complain. As far as destinations, upside. Today's high, 414.15. Then 415.09 daily high and 415.68, which is now a weekly high. For the downside, 9 wide at 412.50, which is C's low. Then out and using K's, an afternoon pullback low, 411.43. Today's low, 409.60, 406.82, weekly low, and 406.77, daily low. Now let's go break down those charts. Let's see what's happening here. So let's go to the monthly first on IWM. So the monthly now is out of an inside month to the upside, right? But I'm still calling it balance. They did take out June's high by 8 cents. To me, it's still balance. Okay, I want to see some push at least above June and maybe even May's high. If we get away from June's high, maybe I'll go up to the daily. But I'd really like to see it get above May's high, which is 194. It's not that far away. But for now, I'm going to call the monthly balance still, but it's an inside month up. So they're in the right direction for the bulls. Weekly, firmly up. One time framing up 3 weeks out of a double inside week. Boom. You think that stuff's powerful? We'll see if the inside month's going to be as powerful to the upside. And then the daily, still balance. 3-day balance, although today encompasses the whole 3 days, outside day up, which is bullish. So if we take out today's high on Monday, the daily is clearly up. If we take out today's low, we go from balance to down. So there's a lot that can happen. And if we stay inside of it, it's balance. So right now the monthly is balance with an inside month up. The weekly is up. And the daily is balance with an outside day up in the IWM. Triple Qs. Monthly. Now remember, last month, we didn't have an inside month. So again, their next big level is 330. So I think I would actually call the monthly balance to up right now for ES since they didn't have the inside month. You could say last month put us into balance and this month now is up. So I don't have any problem if you're calling the monthly up now in the triple Qs. So up on the Qs on the monthly. Next big target is the 330 level. We got up to 320, almost 325 this week before we backed off. Weekly, up, clearly up out of a double inside week. Up we go. And on the weekly. And the daily, 3-day balance. Okay? So, up on the monthly, up on the weekly, 3-day balance on the daily triple Qs. So what is the market trying to do? We've been talking, I gave a recap last week, right? We gave a recap saying if this happens, I expect the market to do this. Well, nothing really changed for me this week. If anything, and we're going to go over to SPY in a second, this is a consolidating week for the buyers, and there's nothing wrong with that. So the bigger picture to me has not changed, and the market still is attempting to go higher. And again, they digested another stupid number, plain and simple. Now, the monthly in SPY is balance. It's a 3-month balance. We need to take out June's high and get acceptance above it for the monthly to go up for me. Right now, it's barely an inside month up. We battled it for 5 days. At some point, you want to get the legs to get going. I don't mind having a consolidation week, but at some point, you want to get going. So balance on the monthly. Weekly, clearly up. One time framing up 3 weeks, but it did balance, right? We still ended up on the week about 48 cents, but that's a nice little consolidation. Hopefully now for bulls, they get more to the upside. And the daily is in. Now again, this is a little different than Q's. I'm going to call a 3-day balance. You want to call a 6-day balance, be my guest. Plain and simple. It's subjective. It's an art. That's right. So I'm not going to say you're wrong if you call it a 6-day balance, and I'm not wrong if I call it a 3-day balance. I put this trend line in yesterday and look the way we bounced off it today. So pretty interesting to see if we hold that. So for now, the monthly in SPY is balanced, and they're attempting to have an inside month up. The weekly is clearly up, and the daily is fully in balance. Hope these videos help. Again, I really appreciate you guys and gals liking and subscribing to this YouTube channel. Come check us out at CalvinBackTrading.org. For $30 a month, again, we're live streaming both the ES, the SPY, IWM, and Triple Q profile all day long while we explain what, why, and how the market is reacting. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, and we'll speak prior to the opening on